in 58 matches here, and this term only 1 goal conceded in winning 6 of their 7 home fixtures. So the two captains preparing for the toss-up. Ray Wilkins alongside me here. It, as James was saying, has a really good feel to it, this game.
It certainly does, Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. This really does seem to be a super fixture. We've got 2 of the top scorers in Serie A, and it really should turn out to be an afternoon of goal-mouth activity, and let's hope so. Napoli, it's nice to see them rejuvenated, really. They've had their troubles off the field and their troubles on it, but it's nice to see them coming back into their own. But as you said before, Peter, to actually come here to Parma, it's going to be a really tough outing for them. I'm really looking forward to seeing the likes of Zola and Asprilla perform. Zola was a magnificent buy from Naples for the Parma club, and I think he's really been one of the mainstays in this terrific formation.
Just checking through the 2 lineups here. Sensini, the Argentine, who's come from Udinese after the long-term injury to Georges Grun, the Belgian. And there is Zola, very much the playmaker in the Parma side, alongside Kripa and also Brolin, the Swedish international, and then the pace up front of Asprilla, and supported by Melli. And I think Scala will have found it hard to have left him out today, Ray.
Yes, quite true, Peter. Melli really is a goal poacher. It really is you can't use that word enough for Melli. He scores so many goals just hanging around that 18-yard box, and he really has been an influence on the Parma side. But Scala has decided to go with a certain formation, and who can doubt what he said? He's been absolutely magnificent since he's taken over the reins at Parma.
Parma in the all-white strip, kicking from left to right as we look out, and this is Balleri wearing 2. Minotti to Brolin. Parma are so hard to dispossess. Their passing is attractive and accurate. And they suddenly break so quickly to exploit the pace of Asprilla, who looked to be back to his best form in the last couple of matches after a barren spell. His goal at Canale was his first since October, and he got another one in the week in the Italian Cup win over Brescia.
We've got a very interesting Swedish confrontation as well, haven't we? We've got Thomas Brolin, and it appeared to me there that Jonas Thern was picking him up man for man, so that should be a very pleasant afternoon for the 2 of them. Brolin has really performed exceptionally well in this dropped role. He is a forward player, but he's down a lot deeper this season, and it'd be interesting to see the battle that goes on between Thern and Brolin.
Free kick to Napoli for offside. Di Fusco in goal for Napoli. Tagliatella is still out through injury. Bia with a free kick. This is Thern. It goes Thern again. Now Thern. Uzo wearing 7. They will have a wide roll up front. We'll see how he settles in. Uzo, who's one of several players on loan to Napoli. They really can't afford to buy too many outright at the moment. Fonseca, they were delighted to hold on to him after definite interest from Milan during the summer. In the end, the fee was too high, around 8 million they wanted for him. The tackling back then by Brolin, helped out by Balleri. But here's Buso. Quite a scrap going on, and in the end it's a decision in favour of Napoli. I think the throw.
It's nice to see no intervention from the referee as well, Peter. Normally in those instances we see the ref butt in, but that was all perfectly legal, and good stuff there from Brolin and Jonas Thern.
This is Bardin. The tackle though by Matricano, although I don't think the referee liked it. Matricano, who's getting his chance in the side because of injury to Grun, and also Apolloni out through suspension. He was expecting a long run anyway when Grun was injured, but they signed Sensini instead. This is Buso. Dangerous ball in, and a chance and a goal! Gambro. His first goal. Well, of all people, that Gambro popping up with the far post.
Yes, Buso did exceptionally well, Peter. He comes out, he whips in a nice cross. Very difficult height for defenders. This just top tipping the tops of people's heads. And there's Gambaro on the far post with a very neatly taken goal on the volley.
Well, he had 4 seasons with Parma, Gambaro, and what delight he will be taking here on returning to the stadium and scoring against his old club. What a start for Napoli. Busso with the cross. Fonseca was at the far post, but so also was Gambaro to give his team the lead.
We thought we might see some goals, Peter, but I thought the game had actually started very tentatively. I thought they were trying to feel each other out, but that's a nice little start for us, a good early goal.
Well, that's brilliant. Parma was the favourite to score the first goal. I'm not sure what the odds were on Gambaro popping up with one. Gambaro, who's on loan from Milan. The goal time at just 3 minutes. And that's only the second home goal that Parma have conceded this season. Free kick taken by Zola. Wide of Brolin. Fonseca chasing back at him. My word, there's a spring in the step of Napoli at the moment. And rightly so too, a shock opening goal for them. Valeri with the throw. Here's Turn. Becchia knocking on to Fonseca. Now Turn, Fonseca again.
A lovely play there from Fonseca, Peter. A great turn initially, and a nice little 1-2 with Jonas Turn, and great vision, picking out Gambaro on the right back position.
Bia is the last man here, and almost got in trouble with the speed off the mark of Asprilla. Bia, of course, is still a Parma player on loan to Napoli. And not only is that Gambaro's first goal for Parma, it's his first goal any time in Serie A for anyone.
Always nice as well for him to score it against his old club, Peter. It's always nice to go back to your old clubs and perform, and to actually put one past them is a very pleasant sensation. I can say I've done it too much myself, but it must be a very nice feeling for him.
We would have to get out the record books for that, wouldn't we? Gambaro. I must stop taking the mickey out of you. Your teammates have had a go at me for that, I hear.
I was quite amazed, actually, but yeah, they said that bracket does have a pop in you, Red, and I was quite astounded that they were sticking up for me.
Well, it was that reference to your age of 43, I think, that threw people last week. Nobody really believes you're that young. Minotti. Held that by Ferrara, the captain of Napoli, and one of the markers at the back. A resolute and determined defender, Ferrara, former Italian international. A lot of responsibility on his shoulders this season. Now Zola, tripping past the tackles. Did well to hold on to it too. Asprilla. And how quickly he was confronted then by Cannavaro, who has been booked for the challenge.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate to be booked, I think, Peter. It actually looks a lot worse than it is. I think Asprilla was slipping onto him. But I think if you could analyse the sort of first touch that Asprilla took, and he turned all in one motion, it was quite a fantastic first touch on the ball after some very nifty footwork from Zola. But this is a dangerous old position for Napoli. Zola's scored a magnificent goal from a similar position last week, and he's a very dangerous customer from here.
4 of his 8 goals this season have come from long-range free kick, Zola. Learnt so much, of course, under the maestro Diego Maradona during his time with Napoli. Now, what can he conjure up here? Asprilla there is lurking as well. Referee still not happy that the wall is far enough back. Pierluigi Pairetto from Turin, the official today, in charge. Zola is taking charge of this situation. Here is Zola now. Got a second chance. And De Fusco happy that the wall did its job.
Yes, I think if you look at the wall, they must know Zola off by heart, these guys, because they all jumped in unison, and obviously making themselves another foot taller by doing so, and Zola has had no chance really of sticking it in the corner.
Fusco, who's in his 4th spell now with Napoli. He's a bit like your old mate Luciari, doesn't play too often.
Yeah, it's sad for him, isn't it? It's nice to see him get that chance, and let's hope he takes it.
Valeri, who's taking his chance in the absence of Di Chiara. Now Pecchia. What a fine season he's having for Napoli. Young man who came from Avellino, but again is officially on Parma's books. He's never played for them. Fonseca to Gambaro, the goal scorer. Valeri taking no chances there. And goalkeeper Bucci couldn't keep it in play. Bucci, who had an injury in the match last week at Canale and didn't complete the game. Indeed, he was replaced after only 20 minutes. Didn't play in the week, but fit enough to resume the #1 choice goalkeeping jersey today. Now Carini taking the corner. Away by Sensini. Carini's cross in. Another man on loan from Sampdoria.
Yes, he looked as if he might have a very good career at Sampdoria, Peter, and then he stagnated slightly. But it's nice to see him playing, because I believe he was the captain of the under-21 side, the Italian under-21 side that won the European trophy. And he really did look an exceptional prospect. But he stood still a bit. But now he's getting regular games for Naples. Let's hope that he can come onto his game again.
Yes, he had an injury problem earlier in the season and has only just returned to the side. Minotti. Here's Kripa. Looking for Asprilla. Delicately laid off to Benarivo. Now Asprilla, who's so strong and again driving relentlessly towards goal, and it was Cannavaro who came across to cover his run.
And it must be said, he's got a tough old task, Cannavaro, this afternoon, because Asprilla is one man that really is in form, and he's got electrifying pace. So it's going to be a very tough defensive job for him.
Zola with the corner. And it was Carini guarding the post. Whipped over then by Zola. Minotti there, right on the goal line. They've posted Matricano forward too. Almost reached Melli. Here's Matricano now, trying to plough a path to goal. No foul. It's a Napoli throw.
Yeah, the ball came in. Fusco, he didn't look too happy on the first corner, I didn't think, and he's just getting underneath the ball there. I think that's a little bit of ring rust there. When he doesn't get a game, he's a bit anxious to get out there and get the first ball.
Fonseca. Foul then by Melli. First goal of the day from other matches has been scored by Atalanta at home to Genoa. In fact, Genoa, I'm told, have now equalised. It's Scaravi for Genoa and Maurizio Gantz for Atalanta. This is Fonseca trying to get through for Napoli. Away by Belleri. Offside. It wouldn't have counted, but Fonseca again posing problems.
Yeah, he's very alert. He's a super player, is Fonseca. He's very intelligent as a footballer. But we saw the other side of the game there with Bucci in goal. They're trying to get him booked, and I think that's a sad state of affairs when someone does something wrong. Yes, they have done it wrong, but straight away the hand goes up to get them booked. I think it's quite sad when fellow professionals are attempting to do that.
Benarivo. Asprilla. Napoli defending doggedly, and Parma not really into their stride as yet. This is Gambaro.
They're defending deeply as well, Peter. They don't want to give that space in behind. We were talking about it last week with Inter in the second half. They don't want to allow the likes of Asprilla all that space in which to run into, so they're defending slightly deeper.
Melli. Here's Bia. Now Gambaro. Napoli, who've climbed up to 8th place in the table after their disappointing start. Asprilla. Oh, De Fusco just got a hand to it then.
My word, he made a great decision in the finish, Peter, didn't he? Because I didn't think the defender was going to get with Asprilla, and Fusco came out and made a really timely interception there.
He's made only 23 appearances in 7 seasons, De Fusco.
Yeah, I think Asprilla was actually going to nod that through and perhaps get on the end of that, and Fusco's made a good decision.
Certainly hasn't let them down when he's come into the side, De Fusco. Mandelli has scored, I'm hearing now, for Foggia at home to Torino. Foggia 1, Torino 0, the goal from Mandelli. Cannavaro. Well, the Hope fans thought was climbing all over Asprilla. Referee has ruled the other way.
Yeah, I think he thought he was making a bit of a back for him. You can see he's getting a little bit agitated as well, Asprilla. He's being marked very, very closely, and he probably gets it week in, week out, but the young defender's marking him exceptionally tight.
He's a lot stronger now than when he first came to Italy, Asprilla. They've prepared a special training program for him to increase his muscularity, to make it more powerful.
There's Fonseca again, very, very bright. Doesn't want defenders dithering on the ball. He was in like a flash, and slightly unfortunate not to capitalise on that.
Fonseca, who's also having another outstanding season, 7 goals so far in just 10 matches. He, of course, missed the start of the campaign, away on World Cup duty with Uruguay. Just as Asprilla was absent for the start of Parma season, he was with Colombia, who did get through. Uruguay didn't. Away by Sensini. Now Melli. Trying to shake off Carini, and the free kick given to Parma.
Yeah, it's a shame that Uruguay didn't get through, Pinnit. When you think of, you know, the likes of Fonseca, Sosa, they all won't be playing in the World Cup. That's a pretty sad state of affairs.
Parma throw, forced by Crippa. Crippa, who had had 5 successful years in Naples, including being a part of their championship side in 1990. And he won international caps then, and he's hoping to rebuild his career with the national team through his form with Parma.
And his form's been quite exceptional, Peter, hasn't it? He's done very, very well indeed. You know, when you think of the likes of Zola and Brolin playing just in front of him, he does an exceptional job for Parma.
Asprilla. Parma still a goal down. Surprise opening strike by Gambaro after only 3 minutes for Napoli. Carini away. Only as far as Crippa. Up by Cannavaro. Now Fonseca on the charge again. Africano with the saving tackle. Makes these darting, thrusting runs, Fonseca. Very hard to contain. Here he is again now. Linking with Buzo. No foul by Sensini. Play on, says the referee. Crippa. Now Bia, the sweeper. This is Tan. Given away, though, to Matricano. Now Brolin. Parma looking to string their passes together and get Valeria way down the right here. And it's Buzo back defending.
Yeah,
very
good
cool.
defending. Yeah, exceptional play. That's good stuff. He doubled up there with, I think it was Bia. And that's very good play from Buzo. Good cover.
And he's still back in defence. That's a foul on Pecchia by Matricano.
I think that's one of the things we do see week in, week out in the Italian football, is the way that the wider players in the middle of the park do track back exceptionally well. Their concentration is excellent, and they're always there or thereabouts to help out their defensive part.
Fonseca. Support from Pecchia, at least he would have had. And the free kick's been given for the foul on Fonseca. And while we're watching this, we're seeing another goal race. Sorry to interrupt there. Cremonese have scored against Udinese. Gianni Biaggi has given his team the lead.
I can't really see where this hurt Fonseca that much. It was a lovely one too, and I thought it was just a case of obstruction, but obviously Fonseca has been hurt slightly more than I thought.
Well, he's not in the middle now, so they've had to carry on without him for the moment. Asprilla. And obviously Fonseca has a problem. Maybe fell awkwardly. I didn't see that one too well.
Well, I didn't actually see him fall too badly, Peter, but it appears that he's holding his nose, and I thought it was good refereeing to get on with the game.
You've been blowing yours.
Yes, that's right. It's this wicked flu about, isn't it? I think everybody's got for it, though, haven't they?
But for QPR fans listening, you'll be fit for the game tomorrow.
Yes, no problem, Peter. Everything should be okay.
If selected.
But of course.
Carini threading it on. Easily cut out though by Minotti. Very commanding figure at the back, Minotti for Parma. That's Pecchia fighting well for it. Now Fonseca hoping to set himself up for a chance here, but Benarivo getting back in the nick of time.
Who does look an exceptional player, doesn't he? You know, we talk about all the forward players in Italian football, but Benarivo really does look a good fullback. And you spoke about Minotti previously, Peter. Two really good players.
Fonseca with Pecchia. Now Belleri approaching the halfway point in the first half. Parma really haven't got going yet.
They're finding it tough. It's a rejuvenated Napoli side. They're putting under a lot of pressure on Naples when Parma are in possession of the ball, and they're making it a tough afternoon for them.
On by turn.
Now that football there, for instance, was first class. 1 and 2 touch, moving the ball on nice and quickly. Good running off the ball. That was exceptional football.
Young Pecchia here going down. Man who's forced his way into the side after some sparkling pre-season performances, and he's maintained that form since.
This is good refereeing we're seeing here as well, Peter. He's not standing for nothing, he's Mr. Paretto. He's really getting on with the game.
Turn with the free kick. Gambaro in there again. The man whose goal divides the two teams. Forward by Bia. Turn. This is Buzo. Bia. Udinese have now equalised away to Cremonese. Penalty from Branca. Cremonese 1, Udinese 1. Asprilla. Now Pecchia. Belleri wins it back though for Parma. On from Zola. Asprilla. Belleri. This is more like it from Parma. Still Asprilla. He's round one. Tackle! Explosive bursting by Faustino Asprilla.
Oh, that was fantastic football, Peter. He really did play a very nice one too. And you look at his power, his strength as he goes forward, and unfortunately he just miscued the ball at the last minute, but that really would have been a goal to remember had that have gone in.
Ferrara, one of the players trying to stop him in full flight. So much strength then revealed by Asprilla. Maybe a little off balance when he finally shot at goal.
Yes, I think that was the case, Peter. He doesn't look the most gainly guy when he's actually flying at full speed, and I think he just took his eye off the ball at the last moment and just screwed it wide. And here we see it was a great one too. And I think he actually went for a little nutmegs there, but as he goes through, it shows tremendous power. And he might have been actually better off towing it along to Melli, actually, who had made a good run to get up alongside him. Asprilla was off balance, but perhaps a little toe poke into Melli's path might have been the better option.
5 goals from Asprilla so far this season, including a hat-trick when he returned for his first full outing of the season against Torino. Fonseca. Well, it looked a good turn, but it was an illegal one.
Yes, I thought it was a great turn, but I thought it was handball, Pete, and it was a super turn. I think that's the problem with these guys. If you get too tight to them and let them know exactly where you are, they'll roll you and they'll turn you with no problem.
Brolin. Has been suffering from flu, Thomas Brolin, which caused him to miss the match last week at Canale. So maybe he's still a bit under the weather. Hasn't really influenced this game so far.
No, he's not been in the game, Pete, and I think Jonas Towns had something to do with that. He really is staying in and around his area. Wherever he goes, he seems to be picking him up, and he's making it an uncomfortable time for him.
Zola with the kick. And Asprilla almost on the end of it. Managed to keep it in, but no more.
No, he did well, Asprilla. That was chasing a lost cause. That was it was excellent. I think it was Menotti that got in a very good header. And Asprilla just wanted to see the ball right to the very end, and he was a little bit unfortunate he didn't make more of it. There's the header going in, and Asprilla really did ever so well to keep that ball in, and that was a good effort on his behalf.
And much relief for Napoli and De Fusco, but he could make no more of that. Buzo, who seems to be operating from a deep role rather than as an outright striker. Pecchia seems to be the player supporting Fonseca here the most. Good defensive work, though, by Sezzini. Now then to Brolin. Brolin to take the free kick. Asprilla trying to wriggle through. Cannavaro, as ever, right on his shirt tail.
It's a good battle they're having, isn't it? I think Cannavaro is just in front at the moment, but it really is a good battle. He actually looked as if he played the ball. It actually looked a good tackle.
Zola, as ever, organising the free kick. Kripa alongside him here. Looking for Melli, didn't find him. Turn able to clear. News coming in of a setback for Paul Gascoigne's team, Lazio. They're a goal down to the bottom side, Lecce. Lecce at home today. Gazzani has scored. Another Gazza. It's turned now. Shadowed by Kripa. Knocked on then by Brolin to Asprilla. Again, he couldn't outsmart young Cannavaro. But the free kick has been given, this time in favour of Parma. Cannavaro, who's come up through the youth ranks at Napoli and looks a good prospect, Ray.
Yes, he does, and he just got his studs caught in the ground there, Cannavaro, and he's actually marked Asprilla very well. He's marked him tightly, but not too tightly where he can really roll him and turn him. And it's good that a young guy coming up through the ranks can take on such a tough old task. The sort of financial state that Napoli are in at the moment, it's nice to have players that they're bringing through their youth ranks. Yeah, we see it once again. There's a little bit of a tug, but I think it was just there. He got his boot caught in the floor and twisted his ankle.
Only played a couple of times in Serie A last season, Cannavaro, but he's been a regular in this campaign. Although not on our live matches, in the two previous games we featured of Napoli, he didn't play in either. Turn. Up towards Pecchia. Benarivo, though, was there. And Kripa knocking it on.
He actually looks to be in a bit of agony, Cannavaro. He's limping around out there. And they might be advised to get someone else to pick Asprilla up at the moment, because if the ball was to come to, I don't think he could stay with it.
Brolin. Melli lurking in the middle. Asprilla. There's danger here. And Zola unable to keep it down.
Yeah, if there was anyone that you'd probably want to see on the edge of the box at this time in the game, it would be Zola having a free crack at goal. Here we see Asprilla get on the ball. Cannavaro can't get with him. It's just a little toe poke into Zola's path. And I think he screws it a mile wide, but he normally is very accurate from that sort of area. And I think that's young Cannavaro on the floor in quite a bit of difficulty.
Well, they've got two experienced defenders on the bench in Corradini and Naylor. So it may well be they are forced to make a switch.
So I think they would possibly go for Naylor as well, Pete, if they were to make a switch. Being a goal up, I think that little bit of added experience may come in very handy.
On the 3 occasions that he hasn't played for Napoli this season, his team have ended up on the losing side in each one.
All's well. He looks as if he's ready to carry on, and hopefully he is as well, because he's performed admirably up to now. Let's hope he can continue to do so.
Well, certainly his coach Marcello Lippi has a lot of faith in him and believes he can go on to greater things. And he has the same confidence in this fellow. Pecchia just slipped it too far then for Fonseca, but some excellent approach play by young Pecchia. Turn. Off goes Fonseca again. No joy this time. It's Benarivo for Parma. Uzo. Belly on the chase. Again, good defending by Napoli. Here's Turn. On to Pecchia. They look dangerous when they're breaking too. Fonseca. Turns in the middle, so is Pecchia. In goes Turn. Only inches away from scoring his first ever goal for Napoli.
Yes, I think we can safely say that the Napoli have been the better side in the first half, Peter. That was an excellent move from him. A great run off the ball again from Fonseca. He's playing up there on his own, but he's working tirelessly. He's making good runs for everybody, and he's actually easy to pick out because of those runs. And it was an exceptional ball that he played in, and Jonas Turn just didn't have that extra yard that he could get there and stick it in the net.
Half an hour gone. Carini with the corner. A comfortable catch though for Bucci.
They're rather wasted. I think Napoli only sent 2 players up anyway. It's a little bit defensive thinking at this moment in time. The game would only be about 25 minutes old, and to actually send just 2 players up for a corner, sorry, 30 minutes old, to send 2 players up for a corner is a bit negative.
Minotti. Ripa quickly closed down though by Turn, and the referee dissatisfied with the challenge. Benarivo. It's only a nudge in the back then by Turn.
He got a slight nudge, but I don't think it takes too much to put people over, does it?
You old cynic, you. Gambaro. Caught in possession though by Benarivo. Another surging run down the flank by him. In towards Belly. First time strike, scooped out. That's brilliant. Appeals for penalty, and it's given.
Yeah, quite right too. A definite penalty. You saw how alert he was, Asprilla. It was absolutely terrific. The ball just came off of Fusco, who made a good save. I think it was Melli that hit it on the turn. As the ball comes across, it's Melli that has the little snapshot, and Fusco actually makes a good shave, because I think that's slightly deflected. But look at Asprilla. He was off like a shot, and I think Ferrara just was a little bit late arriving on the ball, and I think quite right it was a penalty.
It was the speed of thought then of Asprilla that led to the penalty. Ferrara now has been cautioned. It was his tackle, certainly, on the Colombian that resulted in the penalty kick awarded by Pierluigi Pairetto. Well, maybe that's the Napoli coach who shot himself. No, it's not that serious.
No, it isn't that serious. It is a penalty, and I think Cannavaro is limping off the field and limping out of the action, which is a shame, because he's had an exceptional half an hour. He's played very well indeed, and for the young man to have to go off, it's a bit of a shame. But it is a penalty, and I think Mr. Pairetto was exactly right in his decision.
Brolin just trying to calm himself down amidst all the turmoil, all the confusion. Buzo has been booked as well. Napoli absolutely incensed by the decision, but certainly, to my mind, and to that of Ray Wilkins, it was a penalty. De Fusco still unhappy, being, I was going to say, consoled by Carini, but I think Carini maybe has had a word with it there. Of course, Carini. Now Ferreira still arguing.
Just a little bit delay in tactics, I think. Peter, that's all. Ferrara wants to keep it going on a lot longer. So Brolin's nerves come to the boil.
Maybe Carini knows something that we don't in advising his goalkeeper. But here is Brolin with the kick. And Brolin makes it 1-1.
That's another very interesting technique. It actually looks as if Brolin stares at the goalkeeper, Fusco, up until the very, very last second, and he doesn't appear to look at the ball. And it's only at the last minute that he straightens his foot out and he pushes it into the far side. Very interesting technique. He only took a couple of strides to it. A very impressive penalty.
Brolin's third goal of the season puts Parma level, and maybe we'll steady them down a bit now. They certainly haven't been in full flow so far. 33 minutes gone. Parma 1, Napoli 1.
Yeah, they've looked very edgy, Parma. I think obviously there's a lot of pressure on them. They're sitting at the top of the division, and there's a lot of pressure on them to perform, and I think that might be just a little settler that they need to get back and to start playing some good football.
Villa. And let's hope too that it doesn't throw Napoli out of their stride. They've done well. They've acquitted themselves to the task of holding Parma and have looked dangerous on the break. Oh, Ferrara is living very dangerously, though.
Yes, he's living very dangerously, because I think we've seen in weeks gone by that you can't really argue with referees in that tone, and especially in Italian football, they'll have you off the field.
Well, Paeretto is having consultations down there with Lippi, the coach of Napoli. That was Belleri's tackle on Ferrara.
Yeah, a bit of a late tackle, Peter, wasn't it? A bit of a lunge up, but nothing too serious.
Ferrara. Gambaro. Canarivo for Parma. The crowd beginning to raise their voices now. Off goes Asprilla, released by Ferrara now.
Ferrara's looked very, very composed, and he's gone and taken the man-to-man marking job on Asprilla now, since Cannavaro's gone off the field. He's a very, very experienced defender, and he's had an exceptional game already this afternoon. Very composed in defence.
Just to confirm, it's Corradini who has come on as a substitute for Napoli in place of Cannavaro. Tigrish tackling by Cripper, can't get away with that. Oh, Carini on the end of some savage work then by Cripper, and he's been sent off.
Standing none of it, Peter, is he, the referee? There was definitely a little kick up there, but I think that could have been resolved with a yellow card. But he's sending them both off, and Cripper actually looks as to say, what for? But he did actually have a swoosh up at Carini, and Carini did retaliate with a couple of slaps on the chest, I think. But he's having none of it, Mr. Paeretto, and we're down to 10 men apiece.
Well, we're just waiting to see what exactly there is. What's happened? Both have been dismissed. I thought for a moment there maybe Carini was the only one going, but oh, that was very, very unsavoury, the whole thing.
Well, just legs tangled initially, and then as Cripper couldn't get it out and Carini was laying on top, he just had a little kick up, and obviously Carini didn't rate that too favourably, and they had an exchange, handbags at a yard, and I think they would have sorted that out without having to send the players off.
So controversy in Parma, both teams down to 10 men. Belleri with the backward header, safely gathered by Bucci.
I think on the balance of play up to now, I think you'd have to say that would favour Napoli, because Cripper has been quite influential, whereas Carini's been quite quiet. So it should end up a very interesting game.
Fonseca off to Pecchia. Zola's won it back with some delightful skill.
Magical skill, wasn't it? That's great football from Zola. Absolutely great football, but then just overdoes it, and been a bit fortunate, I think, to get a free kick, yeah.
Sansini has taken it quickly to Melli. Well, it's turning certainly into an eventful match. 1-1 the score. Two sendings off. Melli. Well cut out then by Bia.
I think that incident just came a bit too close to that little bit of frustration they have with the penalty for Naples, and it just tended to overboil a little bit the game, and I think Mr. Paeretto wanted to stamp his authority back onto it, get it into line, and he made his decision.
Lazio have now equalised away to Lecce, and it's the Dutchman Arend Winter who has scored the goal. Lecce 1, Lazio 1. And it's Milan 2, Cagliari 1. Massaro has scored both the Milan goals, and Villa for Canale. Milan level with Parma at the top of the table, but they've played a game less, both on 21 points. Then comes Sampdoria on 20. Sampdoria at home to Reggiana today. Juventus and Inter on 19, Lazio on 18. Ferrara. Firm challenge by Matricano, and the referee has given the free kick.
Yeah, I think Valeri, if you watch Valeri here, just the initial push-up, but I think you see that he goes slightly, I don't think he gave it for that, he gave it for the second one. He goes slightly over the top of the ball on the second challenge.
And then I think was Matricano. Buzo here with the free kick. Ferrara. Now that for turn. This is Pecchia. Ahead of him is Fonseca. Roland to Asprilla for Parma. Trying to send Valeri on his way, but Ferrara with the interception. Now Pecchia. Valeri. Came from Cosenza back in the summer, Valeri. Sensini to Minotti. Another man on the fringe of the Italian national team, Minotti. That's good distribution too. The run by Asprilla. Overcame Beer.
He does show some delightful skill though, Asprilla. That was very difficult for him. And it was just a quick change of feet and he's off again. And he took a dive, I think, to get the free kick. Oh, well, it's not a free kick, it's a goal kick. He definitely took a dive, but he definitely shows some unorthodox skills, as it were. His balance off both feet is quite exceptional.
Well, he's a handful for any defender, Asprilla. And it's often taking more than one to control him. It's his turn. Corradini, another player from the championship winning squad of 1990. But can't get a regular place in the side this season, mainly due to the form of Cannavaro. And also Franchini when he's fit. Another man out at the moment. 4 minutes to half time. Asprilla. Again, surrounded by blue shirts. Whenever he's in possession, Asprilla.
He's not really going anywhere here. Ferrara's a bit impetuous there to have a pop at him there. He's not really going anywhere. He's going away from the goal. He showed some delightful little skills there, a little drag back. And this again is a very dangerous area in which to give away free kicks, especially when you have the likes of Zola in your ranks, because this is well within his capabilities. It's a shame actually that the game's getting a little bit edgy. We've seen some good football, some very good technique and a couple of nice goals. But unfortunately I think tempers are getting a little bit frayed at the moment.
Ferrara, who has already been cautioned, remember. It was his hacking at Asprilla that has earned this latest free kick. Zola hovering over the ball. Some jostling going on, I think. Minotti's effort. Plucked out of the air, though, by Di Fusco. Jump by Benarivo initially. Asprilla, though, losing out. This is Beer. It's not a bad ball either. Seeking out Fonseca.
Yeah, that's a shame that he's gone and done that, Fonseca, because he's causing lots of problems with some great runs. It was a great diagonal run that he made off his marker to get in that position, and to actually just waste it with a bit of a lazy and slack back heel was a bit sad, really.
Asprilla. Is that out of play? No. Pecchia. Corradini, who slotted in at the back, but Ferrara seems now to be picking up Asprilla. And there's another injury. Certainly the game has lost some of its rhythm now.
Yes, it has. We want to see 11 players play 11 players, Peter, and I think when he looks back at the referee, he might think he was just a little bit rash in sending him off. I think it was a sort of thing that you see a lot of it in a lot of games, and it wasn't something that was, I think, really over the top. And unfortunately, since the two guys have gone off, who are obviously both very influential, it's a bit of a shame that it has lost its rhythm. And that, again, that little incident there was just a few arms flying, and he's got a little whack in the eye.
Matricano, and he seems to be okay now. Former Foggia player, who also featured in that successful Italian under-21 side that won the European Championship back in '92. On by Brolin. Jump then by Zola. Asprilla. Yet another free kick. Asprilla beginning to lose his patience now. Every time he gets the ball, he's clattered. And he's come to expect that, I'm sure. Such is his reputation.
He actually gets himself, his body position was excellent, Asprilla, as the ball comes into him to receive it. He's side on to Ferrara, making it very difficult for him. And Ferrara just came straight through the back of him. You have to watch himself because Mr. Paretto's already booked him. They are slightly more lenient with the captains of the side because it's the captain that is allowed to speak to the referee if something goes wrong. And he was booked for over-protesting. But I think he's got to be just a little bit careful.
Villa. Gambaro, whose goal gave Napoli that early lead. That's not a bad pass. Picking out Bordin.
It's a great pass, wasn't it? Inside the fullback. Bordin was just unable to pull it down. Well, I think he's given him offside, yeah, or handball, one of the two.
Setzini. This is Balleri. Now Brolin. And Pecchia penalised.
Yes, I think we saw Mr. Paretto during the first 20 minutes of the game. He let a lot of things go. There's just a couple of tugs at each other there from the players. And initially, he was letting a lot of little incidents like that go, and the football was flowing. But I think after he's sending off, he's obviously decided he's got to be a lot sterner with his decisions.
Corradini's pass, picking out Pecchia. Now Buzo. It's his turn. Gambaro has Bordin ahead of him, but fails to link with him. Bordin, the former Atalanta player who followed coach Lippi from that club. Zola for Parma. Minotti. They back to Asprilla. Almost fell that for Melli. And Buzo has to clear.
He did ever so well, Minotti. It was a lovely little ball into the corner of the box for Benarivo. Got forward very well, and it was a ball across the box which Asprilla picked hold of, and his shot was charged down. That's a bit more like Parma. We like to see them attacking. They're very good attacking force, and we've not really seen the best of them up to now.
Setzini, we're in injury time. All cut out by Pecchia. He read the up far too easily. Now on for Fonseca. Well, the finish was disappointing, but that sudden thrust through the middle almost embarrassed Parma.
Yeah, it was a good, lovely little pass from Pecchia. Only a couple of yards. Nice little diagonal run from Fonseca. And he did have the awareness to try and chip the goalkeeper because Bucci had made a bit of a rash exit from his goal. And Fonseca just fouled with his lob.
We've had now 3 minutes of injury time. Benarivo. This is Zola. Splendid turn. He couldn't get away from Bordin. Down goes Fonseca, clattering into the boards from the weight of Sensini's challenge.
I think that might be a nice time to bring this half to a close, actually, Peter. It's been a little bit scrappy the last 5 or 6 minutes, and with this little hold-up now, there can't surely be too much to go. It would be a nice time for Pyretto to end the first half. Yeah, that was just a challenge and the follow-through, really. Nice bit of advertising, though, for whoever's got that board over there.
I don't think Fonseca's thinking about that at the moment. Got a nasty whack in, I think, the rib cage there. So he is still off the field.
We need him on it. Sorry for butting in there, Pete. We need him on the field because he is one player that will definitely brighten up a dull afternoon, and this game was actually fizzling out slightly.
Well, he made a very sudden recovery then.
He ambushed him there, didn't he?
Here's Fonseca now. Well, if he is injured, they'll patch him up at half-time, which should come any second now. Gianna's turn. He's had a good first half. Keeping Brolin quiet, certainly. So that's the way of it then at half-time. An excellent start for Napoli, taking the lead through Gambaro after only 3 minutes.
Setting off of the 2 players, and it really since then deteriorated quite a bit, the game.
Napoli then attacking the goal to our right.
But I must say, well, I'm extremely hopeful for the second half, Peter. I think we've got a couple of players out here that can create, and I'm sure we're in for some excitement in the second 45.
Well, certainly Parma have the most exciting man on the field in Asprilla, but he has been so tightly marked so far by Napoli. First by Cannavaro, now by Ferrara, with Cannavaro having gone off injured. Brolin. Like an incident off the ball there. Brolin continued his run. Well, the referee was only a few yards away as Melli went down, and he saw nothing wrong. Benarivo. This is Asprilla. And off Ferrara for the throw. Taken quickly by Benarivo. Good sharp challenge by Corradini, and I think it was Asprilla who was injured from it.
Yes, he didn't really go in with the conviction that he was going to win that Asprilla, and Corradini really came straight through him and won, which was a very fair tackle.
Bodin. Buzo. Almost made it too. Zola to Sensini. Valeri's run, curtailed by Bia, the sweeper who came across. Brolin's pass, read though by Pecchia, who's had a busy and effective game so far.
It actually looks as if they've moved him slightly forward, Peter. We were talking about it in the break. Pecchia was playing wide on the left-hand side, and no one was getting up to support Fonseca. And it looks as if in the opening stages they pushed him slightly further forward.
Asprilla twisting one way then the other, and the free kick given to Napoli.
That's when he's dangerous, Asprilla, when he does them little turns on the edge of the box. That was great turning. That was a lovely little pass through as well, just a bit slightly overweighted. And that's a good decision from the referee. It was a blatant attempt to win the penalty.
Gianna's turn for Napoli. Turn once more. He's had injury problems this season, Gianna's turn, but he seems to be settling well now. Bia. Looking for Fonseca. Almost a strike-at goal from him. He's lethal in the penalty box. And off Africano for the corner.
Yeah, it was a great run from Fonseca. It really is difficult to find that extra yard in Italian football because you are marked so tightly, but their movement off the ball and away from the ball is quite exceptional. And Fonseca really has used it to his benefit this afternoon. He really has worked very, very hard.
Renato Buzo with the corner. It goes Gambaro. And a comfortable save in the end. Corradini's header. Given away by Valeri. Play on, says the referee. Allowing Napoli to take up their possession. Fonseca. Benarivo got a foot in though. This is Brolin. Valeri. Belly in pursuit with Corradini. Turn. Off goes Fonseca. Sciancini is the player with him. Two South Americans together. A sweet turn. Wide of him is Gambaro. Now ball in. Bucci, who's vying for the third choice goalkeeper's jersey in the World Cup squad. On the Coruzzi of Juventus, it seems to be between the two of them. Behind Pagliuca and Marchigiani. This is Menotti, the captain of Parma. Something we were saying at half-time, Ray, they do look so comfortable on the ball, all the Parma players, don't they?
Yes, they do. Defensively, especially, Peter. You know, they're all very, very comfortable. They receive the ball nicely. They make nice deep angles for each other, which gives them lots of time and space when they receive it. And I've been very, very impressed with Parma as a defensive unit. They defend very well. They didn't defend very well for the goal. But they do normally defend very well, and in possession of the ball, they give lots of players around them plenty of options, and they really are an impressive outfit. I think Scala's done a magnificent job with this team.
Well, that was Jonas Turn who was penalised for tucking back Valeri. Another injury problem though for Napoli. Ferrara. I don't think they want to lose him at this stage.
I thought he's the last player they'll want to lose at the moment. He's had a very, very good game. Superb marker, man-to-man marker, but he's been very composed. That's only a dead leg. He should be able to run that one off.
10 years now with Napoli. 2 championships won in that time. And there's the altercation between Valeri and Jonas Turn. Turn, obviously the offender. Aspiglia. Taking on Buzo. Who's often found himself in more or less a left-back role, Buzo. Certainly a deep role. Not one we're used to seeing him in. And you think, Ray, maybe a bit wasted back there?
No question about it, Peter. He first came on the scene when he scored for Sampdoria. 4 goals, I think it was against West Ham, Peter.
That's offside.
In a pre-season tournament a couple of seasons ago, and he looked a very, very good forward player. And I think obviously the sort of situation Napoli find themselves in with not being able to afford to buy their own players and loaning a lot of players, it's just full credit to him that he can go back and help out the side. And it really isn't his best play. There's no way on God's earth that Buzo would be a defender. But I think it's just a sign of the times, really, for Napoli at this moment.
Buzo on loan from Sampdoria. And right on cue, his old club have taken the lead. Lombardo has scored for Sampdoria at home to Reggiana. Sampdoria, remember, in 3rd place behind Parma and Milan. Sampdoria 1, Reggiana 0. In case you missed it, the news of Paul Gascoigne's team Lazio away to Lecce. 1-1. Gazzani for Lecce and Aaron Winter equalising for Lazio. next live game in a fortnight's time will feature both David Platt, we hope, and Paul Gascoigne. Lazio against Sampdoria on January the 2nd, so pick a date with that one. Should be quite a game from the Olympic Stadium. Now, Gambaro. No real chance there, though, for Fonseca. Brolin's header. Zola racing out of defence, Melli ahead of him, and Asprilla. What a pass sent from Zola. Asprilla! Oh, what a goal that would have been.
That was magnificent football, Peter. It was a header by Brolin right in the middle of the Parma half, in which Zola picked up. It was a fabulous weighted pass, and timing of the pass was exceptional. Asprilla really should have put that in the back of the net. That's a bad error for him. I think it's his swinger, his left side. But nevertheless, he was only a couple of yards out of goal, and he should really have put that one away. But Zola was really instrumental. That was a great run and pass. Marvellous football.
Fantastic vision shown then by Zola of Parma to release Asprilla. And, well, he was close to giving his team the lead. Maybe DeFusco's charge out just about did enough to put him off.
I think you're quite right, Peter. Yeah, the last desperate lunge from Frisco, I think, had Asprilla take his eye off the ball, and he lifted it wide of the post. Well, I think that's the first time I've actually seen Asprilla in full flight, isn't it? They've marked him very, very tightly and made it very tough for him. And that really is the only occasion we've actually seen him in full stride, and he really did look an impressive chap.
So much to admire then about Parma's approach play. Certainly from Zola, who's been saying this week he would never have left Naples if the club didn't need the money. Actually, as he says, they've earned millions from my transfer, so selling me has helped my old club, but it hurt me so much to leave. An emotional day really today for Zola, and certainly for Crippa, who was sent off in the first half against his former club too. Now Bia's in trouble.
Bia did exceptionally well. Yeah, it was a foul, and I think Valeri's quite right, it was a foul, but the little cuddle at the end, I think, saved him from a lot worse.
Very competitive game, that's for sure.
I think that's the way we like to see the game played, Peter, really competitive, and it's vitally important for both sides that they get a result out of the game, and we want to see that competition involved in the game as well.
Volume of noise now around the stadium for the Parma fans. Zola with the corner, wasn't a good one though, flicked away by Jonas Stern. Zola again. And he's forced another corner, has he?
Good defending from Fonseca, wasn't it? Working really hard for the team. He realised it's desperately important to get a result today, and there he is. That's a great tackle. Any left back would have been chuffed with that one.
Zola again. Melli! And off Gambaro for another corner. It could have been much more serious than that.
He's an amazing chap, Peter, isn't he, Melli? He's only touched the ball twice, and here we see the second time with his head. It's a very good header back across the face of the goal. And it's a good clearance from Gambaro.
Setsini was right behind him then. Here's Setsini now. Brolin trying to wriggle his way through. The whole posse defenders converging on him though, and the flag is up here. Offside against Zola.
Nice vision from Benarivo there. That was a good pass. Unfortunately, these forward players hadn't got out quick enough. That was an excellent pass from Benarivo from left to right.
Just thinking here, Ray, I was talking about Zola earlier on an emotional day for him and for Crippa. Crippa actually is quoted as saying this week, I found paradise without the stress of Napoli here in Parma, so he might not be thinking that now.
No, he won't. He's sitting in the bath at the moment, isn't he, poor chap? But yeah, there's no question about it. When you go and play in the big cities and for the big teams, there's a lot of expectation, and you must win. And he
Melli! My word, that was close. First time strike by Melli.
Yes, that's right. As I was saying, he probably feels a lot more relief and to be playing here. But that was a great pass from Zola, picking Melli out. And the little chap just missing the target, but it was a good run off the ball.
Just strike for goal so instinctively, Melli. 4 goals in his last 2 games. As Ray was saying, he's been fairly anonymous otherwise in this game, but the last few minutes, twice he's come near to a goal. Gambaro. Pecchia. Away from Zola. Turn. It goes Pecchia. Two defenders almost leaving it to each other there. Asprilla down for Brolin. Belleri. He's made some good runs down this right flank. Melli's shown for him ahead. Asprilla's in the middle now and free. Oh, if only he could have found Asprilla then, and he looked pretty furious, just the Colombian, and he didn't find him.
Yeah, I think Belleri's problem was he was looking at the ball too long. He knew exactly where the ball was. Should have got his head up off the floor and just had a little look around, and Asprilla had made a very good run. Asprilla, in actual fact, the last couple of minutes, he's gone and played slightly deeper, so he's not being picked up so tightly, and we've seen him come from deep and making some good runs into the box.
Free kick to Napoli. Actually only 5 points behind Parma at the start of play, and is still away with it. 1-1. A chance and a goal. Fonseca. Oh, I spoke too soon. Fonseca with a dazzling goal.
Fantastic goal, Peter, and if we can see the whole thing, I don't know whether we will see the whole thing again. As the free kick's about to be taken, he moves to the ball and then makes a run off the back. We're not going to see it from this angle. Makes a run off the back of the defender, and he loses him, and he's all of a sudden he's nervous now. But it doesn't take much for Fonseca to, and we're still not going to see it. But as it comes, there's that little run, all the time in the world, but he elects to take it first time. What a finish. Absolutely fantastic goal from Fonseca.
Well, it was Matricano who made the defensive error, and Fonseca has capitalised on it in the most sensational fashion. The goal on the hour restores Napoli's lead.
He really has been one of the highlights, Fonseca. His use of the ball, his holding up of the ball is good, his movement off the ball is exceptional, and he thoroughly deserves that goal.
Asprilla slides down again. Fonseca's 8th goal in 11 Serie A matches this season. A prolific scoring rate.
Wonderful return, Peter, really, when you consider that the side really haven't been firing on all cylinders. That's an exceptional return. And when he's playing up front, all on his own. It's essential that your first touch is good, and Fonseca's first touch enables him to bring other people into the game, and he really has been a highlight.
Bia. Parma's unbeaten home record seriously under threat now. Zola, the man who can really make things happen for them, and they need some of his inspiration, some of his magic now. Zola, maybe he's going to provide it. Still Zola, fabulous run, and twice he's denied. Menotti, Melli hits the post.
Oh, that's fantastic action, isn't it? What a run from Zola. You called that one, Peter, and they did need a bit of his inspiration, and that was an absolutely marvellous run from Zola. A very, very intelligent ball at the finish. This little ball that he clips back into a very nice little pass, and there's Menotti. Great header.
Get a touch here. Oh,
I think it just caught the defender, did it not, Peter? And it was unfortunate. That really was fantastic football from Zola.
Napoli with 2 players down injured. Gambaro, one of them there. Oh, the crowd aren't happy. They think it's a spot of time wasting. My word, they were lucky to escape then. Coins being thrown on. Lucky to escape then, Napoli, with that awesome run by Zola. And then Menotti's header coming back off the upright.
Yeah, I think Menotti's hurt his head as well there, Peter. It was a bit of a clash. Obviously, the Napoli defence were so keen to get the ball away that at all costs, really. And just a couple of guys have actually taken blows to the head.
I think it may be borne in down there. Anyway, news of another goal coming in. And Juventus at last have taken the lead. At home to Piacenza. Juventus won. Piacenza nil. Conte with the goal. Oh, it's Corradini, in fact, who's down, not Bordin. Corradini on as a substitute for Cannavaro. Very resilient character, Corradini. Into his 30s now. was Menotti, and a clash of heads with Corradini.
Yeah, I think it was quite a nasty one as well, Fred. I think he did...
3 of them, in fact, they really
yeah,
were.
definitely got a bump on the head.
Sbriglia. Menotti. Corradini still unable to continue for the moment. Zola drifting past turn, still Zola. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Menotti taking every opportunity to link up with his attackers now, Menotti, but it's left them exposed at the back maybe. Fonseca. Now, what could the Uruguayans set up here? Valeri. Taking on Buzo, who had the pace to deny him.
The game's picked up nicely again now, though, Peter, hasn't it? It's, we did have a little slack period just before half-time, but the second half, we've seen some really good football played from both sides, and a couple of good chances. A great goal from Fonseca, so let's hope for a lot more. Menotti, in actual fact, is stepping out of the back a lot more and getting involved in the game. He's got a lovely left foot about him. There he goes again, pushing forward, hopefully to get on the end of a cross. This chap's a genius with a football.
Oh, fabulous skill again.
Absolute genius, Peter.
And it was the only way they could stop him. Yellow card for Corradini. I can't really see how he could possibly have any complaints about that.
No, I don't think he can complain about that one, but wasn't that an absolutely wonderful piece of skill, just rolling the ball under his foot and going past 2 or 3 players. Here we see it, this little turn here, that's absolutely lovely football, wasn't it? That's what we'd all pay to go and see that.
Well, they used to call it Marazzola after the time he spent learning his trade under Diego Maradona, proved really to succeed him.
I would have thought it'd been a very, very sad time for him, because I think he was a local boy, actually, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he learnt all his football in Naples, and they really are very passionate people.
I know they made a big profit on him when they sold him. Signed him for around £300,000 and sold him for £5.5 million. Now, it's Zola with the free kick. Sensini and Brolin in the wall. Here's Zola. Ferrara. Under pressure from Belleri. He does look a genius on the ball, Zola. Such sorcery from him. Parma, who've won 6 then of their 7 previous home games this season. Scored 13 goals, including the one from Brolin today, and only conceded 3, 2 of those in this match.
He's another one, though, Zola. We were talking about it the other week, Pete, about Mancini not being able to get a game because Roberto Baggio holds that post. They all play in similar roles, these guys. Zola, Mancini. Yeah, I think he's had a little bit too much lip with the linesman, and Mr. Paretto is getting into him. But he really is a talented guy, and when they play in the national team, they don't give him defensive responsibilities. They play just up behind the front forward players, and all they're there for is to create. And when you see the likes of Zola play, an absolute genius with the football, it's a shame that we don't really see him that often on the world stage, because you've obviously got the likes of Baggio and Mancini, who I would say would just creep in front.
Baggio, of course, who's just been named the World Footballer of the Year. Sensini. Parma, as I mentioned earlier on, the World Team of the Year after their European Cup Winners' Cup success and their elevation to the heights of Serie A as well. 3rd last season, and now challenging so hard for the championship, but it really would be a setback if they didn't win this one today. Vecchia. Fonseca. Rugged challenge by Benarivo.
Lovely turn, wasn't it? Just He knew the defender was nowhere near him. A great turn from Fonseca, but Benarivo's challenge was exceptional.
It's Fonseca again. Hounded by Sensini. Now Brolin's given it away to Bordin, the man whose free kick laid on the second goal. And that'll be a free kick to Napoli. The foul by Minotti.
Yeah, that's a bit of a lunge up there. He's got a Serie who's got a lot of pace chasing after Bordin. He might have been better just holding him off and just shepherding him away from the goal. But Minotti's put, this is a difficult one because this is well within Fonseca's range. He's another one of these free kick specialists, and this is no problem for him, this sort of distance.
Jona's turn is also there. Referee just shepherding that wall back to the requisite distance. Now, will it be Fonseca or maybe Jona's turn? No, it's Fonseca. And Pucci holding on well.
We've seen that a lot just recently, Peter. They line up to hit it into the empty side of the goalkeeper, and there we see Fonseca whipping it into the goalkeeper's side, trying to catch the goalkeeper just edging across, and we've seen that on a number of occasions. The wall wasn't very good there from Parma. It just opened up.
Brolin. "25 minutes gone in the second half. Parma still trailing by 2-1. News coming in from elsewhere. It's Atalanta 2, Genoa 1. Valentini with the second goal there for Atalanta, who are second to bottom. Genoa just a couple of places above them. Milan still leading Cagliari by 2-1. Milan, who will take over at the top if Parma can't retrieve the situation here. Mauro Tassotti making his 500th appearance for Milan today, and he's had some praise for you this week, Ray. About your last game for Milan, he says he was an international, a mature man. That's a nice compliment for you.
Yeah, very nice of him. He's not a bad lad himself, is Mauro. It's a nice landmark for him as well. 500 games for Milan is quite an achievement.
5,000 for you is just approaching, I think. Shouldn't set me up.
No, I shouldn't. You're far too quick for that, mate.
Well, Valeri was too quick for his marker then, or his opponent rather.
I think Valeri's getting a bit frustrated. He's got Busso in front of him, and obviously he's a forward player and he doesn't think he can defend very well. But there we see Busso showing some great skill. A lovely little chip over Valeri's foot. And I think there's just a little bit of frustration creeping in because he can't get forward, can't get past him to get a cross in, and Busso's done an exceptional job out on that left side.
They do so rarely lose here on their own ground, Parma. Only Milan have succeeded in the last couple of seasons. Just 4 defeats since they were promoted from Serie B back in 1990. It's young Pecchia tangling with Minotti. And Fonseca going close again. So quick to spot possibilities.
My word, what a good effort. The ball just drifting wide of the upright, but that was a great effort.
Gambaro. Napoli high on confidence here. Pecchia too close to Sensini. Flags up for offside. I think the crowd wanted Parma to get on with it. Referee pulling play back for the free kick. Asprilla. Brolin. Now the mercurial Zola. Valeri. Zola again. At the heart of the action all the time, Zola. His team are still struggling.
I think they've stuck Jonas turn in on him now, Peter. He's been getting a little bit of freedom and he's making things happen, Zola.
Brolin got a deflection and it didn't fall into the path of Melli, who was lurking. Much to the relief of Rafael Di Fusco.
What he does do very well, Zola, when he receives the ball, he takes it off the line it's come on, which means that as the ball arrives, he either moves it just a touch left, a touch right. So you're moving the defender all the time and not allowing him to come at you in a straight line. And Zola's quite exceptional at it when he gets hold of the ball.
Here's Zola now, cheekily away from turn. Full of tricks, Zola. Brolin. Back into the danger zone, too long for Asprilla. Zola once more to Sensini. Melli tried to get in. Corradini was there with him. That's surely gone out for a corner. Oh, had to be.
I think he was definitely out, Fusco, Peter. Whether the ball did, I couldn't really tell, but he was definitely off the pitch.
Well, I reckon that was over the line.
And I'm not going to argue with you.
Fonseca through the middle. There's another chance for him with Sensini. And Fonseca, well, he's claiming the corner, but it should have been a goal. Having got through, and he just couldn't get his effective strike on goal.
He did everything right, Peter, actually. It's a great ball from Pecchia.
It's a corner too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a corner. He was quite right, Fonseca. But what he did, he cut straight across in front of Sensini, which made it very difficult for him to even touch him because he was edging towards the box. But unfortunately, taking it that way, he took it onto the old swing on the right foot and really didn't make that good a connection.
Well, another goal would surely have killed Parma off. As it is, they're still in there fighting. And finding a bit too hard here. Aspiglia, the robust challenge on board in. Will immediately dive to the ground. This is board in now. Tireless worker for Napoli. Gambaro. Cross it towards Fonseca. That was a vital clearance. Where is again though, Fonseca? I think his value shot up a bit today.
I think no question about it. He really has looked a talented player, hasn't he? He's caused problems all the time. And at this moment, I think the only team you can actually see would be Naples getting the third goal. Parma do look, unless Zola's on the ball, a bit void of ideas.
Bordin has won it back again. Scrapping so hard. Gambaro. Up towards Pecchia with Sensini. Little nudge then by Pecchia.
It was crazy there, Pecchia. He didn't really need to do that. Sensini was actually struggling running back to his own goal, and he's given away an unnecessary free kick. I think Napoli might have been able to get something out of that.
Minotti. Rolling wide of him. Now Belleri. And those waiting in the middle were hoping for a better service than that. Aspiglia. They've left Zola on his own outside the box, but here's Ferrara. A hefty clearance from him, picked up by Sensini. Roll-in. Less than 15 minutes to go. Belleri. More frustration for Parma, but at least they've got the corner. And they've had the majority of those in this game. Zola to take the latest one. Matricano has come up from the back at Minotti. Melli again, shot charged down. Appeals for a penalty, and the protests are in vain. And Pucci way out of his goal. Aspiglia. And a good claim by De Fusco.
Yes, they've got that corner after an hour. We don't actually see a lot of corners that are manufactured on the training ground in Italy. But this is a good ball. And they've got 2 or 3 players going in for it. And then we see Melli, who really is a poacher. We haven't actually seen Melli involved in the game. And he's had about 3 or 4, the 3 or 4 times we've seen him, he's nearly scored.
Aspiglia. Corner. Such a menacing figure, Aspiglia. Napoli under the hammer here. Zola with the corner. No one can get a header in on goal, but here's Belleri. Well, he scored a spectacular goal in Europe earlier in the season, Belleri. But he was nowhere near extending De Fusco on that occasion. Fonseca. Dispossessed by Benarivo, who was hobbling a moment or so ago, but seems to have made a full recovery. Roland. Down by Melli for Zola. Offside. Offside against Belleri.
That's poor from Valeri. You can see right across the line, and he is drifting into an offside area. And Zola got his head up great there, picked him out, and there you see that he's just drifted offside. And it's sad, really, because they were in an excellent position there to score a goal. And equally so, he is actually looking right across the line of the pitch, and shouldn't really be called offside there.
On by turn. Couldn't find Fonseca, though. Matricano to Sensini. Always the threat of Parma being caught on the counter-attack again. The lightning speed up front of Fonseca and his awesome finishing. Another free kick. The countless foul on Asprilla.
That was Ferraro as well, Peter, who has been booked, and he's had a lot of mouth with the referee this afternoon, and he's very fortunate at the moment that I think Mr. Pareto would have had a word. Great turn from Asprilla.
Zola, Benarivo underneath it, down for Brolin, and the flick header. Oh, what a save! Melli's header, and a terrific stop by De Fusco.
Yeah, he was very agile, wasn't he, getting across? He does exceptionally well, Benarivo. Lovely little ball here from Brolin, and there's Melli. He's only touched the ball 5 times. I think he's had 5 attempts on goal, and it was a very, very good save from De Fusco.
Melli getting his header in just ahead of his old pal Bia from their days together with Parma. Bia saying beforehand he's glad his old pal has rediscovered his goal touch, but hopes he loses it today. Well, so far he has. Asprilla jostling with Ferrara. Goal kick. Or is it?
That's an interesting one, isn't it? Very interesting.
Settle with that in the end. Parma have less than 10 minutes to save this game, to continue their assault on the title. Corradini. Off goes Fonseca, winging his way through again, and he's right through. Still Fonseca, and Pucci holds on.
Good goalkeeping from Pucci, but excellent play from Fonseca. He really has given the Parma defence a torrid old time, and he was a little bit unlucky that he didn't get his second goal there.
Sensini. Zola. Brolin's made the run through the middle. Almost picked up to that by Zola. Hits turn. Now Fonseca. He's had an outstanding game, Fonseca. Surely one of the best strikers in world football. Here's Buzo. Faced by Minotti. Not too much support for him. Lopecchia's in the middle now. This is turn. Brought in. Wide of him is Gambaro. Napoli not committing too many players forward in this attack, but they had Fonseca in the penalty box. Pecchia and turn. Good effort too! Jonas Turn, his first ever goal for Napoli, and maybe now he's put the game beyond the reach of the league leaders Parma.
It was an excellent strike by. I personally thought he'd missed his chance. He looked to square up initially to blast it with his right foot, didn't decide to do so and dragged it onto his left side, but it went right into the corner. I thought he was going to hit it there and lost his chance, but no, he went round Brolin, his Swedish pal, and he drilled one right into the side net, and it wasn't the greatest strike in the world, but it's gone where he wants to put it, and no goalkeeper would have stopped that. It was an excellent shot.
Well, he certainly couldn't have had more accuracy on the shot. Just took that bounce before Bucci could get down to it.
I think we called it just before, though, Peter. Parma really have been stretching themselves defensively, and if anyone was going to score, I felt Naples would.
The goal on 82 minutes from Jonas Turn. He's waited a long time for that goal. Didn't manage one at all in his first season. Asprilla, now that to Brolin. But he didn't get hold of it.
He's had a couple of shots, Thomas Brolin. He really hasn't, trying to emulate his fellow Swede there, but he really hasn't got hold of the shots that he's had. Nice little touch from Asprilla. But it just appears everybody's trying to help Milan out again, don't they? We had a little spell last year where they was all beating each other at the top, and Milan just coasted in. And it looks as if Milan carry on and win today, that they're going to go top again.
One by Sensini in the air. Not over yet for Parma. They have a lot of work to do now if they are to escape from this mess. Buzo. All credit to Napoli. That's Valeri down injured. Fonseca on to Pecchia with Matricano. Is Pecchia? And they were saved then by the goalkeeping of Bucci. Maybe the whistle had gone anyway, but certainly Pecchia was through.
Yes, I think he was clean through as well. I think the referee's given a foul. It was a bit of a tussle for the ball, but they've had a little bit of a go at each other. You can see Bucci there come out with all his studs blasting, and he got a bit carried away.
It looked there for the replay as if the referee was blowing the whistle just as Pecchia went through, so presumably he was stopping play for an infringement involving Matricano. That's Valeri. It's been down for quite some time now. Parma number 2. But we are heading here for the upset of the day if Napoli can hang on in the last few minutes.
Yeah, this certainly would be an upset, and is the incident, Peter. Valeri trying to get past Busso again. And that's just another arm flail, and I don't think he meant anything. He just got his arm up and he slapped him around the face. But I'd have thought a big strapping chap like Valeri shouldn't be on the floor for that length of time.
Well, Napoli have certainly revealed their goal-scoring potential. 23 before today, the same tally as Parma. Only Sampdoria and Juventus had scored more. They've added another 3. They got 4 and 5 in their last 2 home games, so they really are beginning to put things together now, Napoli. Minotti for Parma. Desperate times these for the league leaders. Matricano. Now where's he going? Well, nowhere, as Pia came in with the challenge. Another chance for Zola to Testi Fusco, maybe.
I think Asprilla fancies this one, Peter, but there's the incident there. And he had one thing on his mind, Matricano, is to get as close as he could to that box and win a free kick, and that's exactly what he's done. And, a difficult position for Napoli.
Fusco hoping he's got his angles right, hoping the wall will be right.
I wonder if Pecchia plays his little cat and mouse game as well. They tried to take it quickly, but Pecchia right on the edge by number 11 there. He keeps darting back to cover that space on the open side of the goalkeeper.
Asprilla and Zola lining up the kick. Even Fonseca is back defending for Napoli, leading by 3 goals to 1. Three minutes to go.
He's doing it again.
Zola, and he's curled it just too high.
Yeah, Pecchia was doing it again, Peter. He takes everybody in there, then darts out. He's trying to catch people offside as well as cover that space. Not the best one he's ever hit, but I think with the wall jumping, it's making it even more difficult for him.
Parma in severe danger of losing for the 4th time in Serie A this season. Milan have been beaten just the once, and as Ray's saying, they're really all helping each other out by dropping vital points, and it may well let Milan in for a 3rd consecutive season to take the title.
I think that's the important thing you just pointed out there, Peter, that this would be their 4th defeat, and Milan have only lost 1 up to now. Milan pick up points when they're playing badly. It's vitally important that you keep picking up points. When Parma seem to have an off day, it's an off day. They get beaten, and there's no clawing themselves back. And I think that is the main difference between Milan and the rest of the pack.
Another goal has been scored by Juventus, so they look fairly safe now at home to Piacenza. Ravanelli has scored the 2nd goal. Juventus 2, Piacenza 0. They've got a few injury problems too, Juventus. It's not a full-strength side today. Ferrara. Fonseca's pass to Buzo. Bought in. Fonseca again. Still Fonseca, but he ran straight into Brolin. Now Zola. In goes Ferrara. Now can he get away from Sensini? No. Minotti to Brolin. And Lazio have taken the lead now away to Lecce to maintain their challenge near the top. Casaraghi with a second goal. Lecce 1, Lazio 2. Here's Brolin, down for Asprilla. Just simply no way through this packed Napoli defence. Buzo trying to whack it clear, but only reached Brolin. Now turn. This is Sensini to Benarivo. Just about everybody back now in their own half for Napoli. Matricano, as Parma seek the goal to revive their hopes. Sensini, the Argentine. This is Matricano, now then to Zola. Support from Brolin. It was a fair way out and he had no accuracy on the shot. I think it took a deflection, indeed it did, so it's a corner.
Nice patient build-up from Parma. They couldn't go in one side, they came out the other, went back across the other side and ends up with a corner kick.
Well, we're into injury time. Parma still pressing, but again to no avail.
I couldn't really understand that. You've got Zola there who can put a ball on a Tanner, and he gave it to Baleri, who really, I suppose, out the whole of the Parma side is the least person that you would actually want on the ball, and Zola gave it to him to cross in.
Asprilla. It goes Minotti, but he's given it away to Turn. And that may be Parma's last chance. Jonas Turn again. Happy to keep possession deep in Parma territory. On then for Fonseca! Oh, and that would certainly have sealed it.
Oh, that was an absolutely magnificent pass from Jonas Turn. It was a great run from Fonseca, but the pass in was an absolute delight. There it is, that little dink with the outside of the right foot. And that man Fonseca has been everywhere. What a great save as well from Bucci. An excellent save with his left hand.
Another stunning burst there by Fonseca. Keeper just got his hand to it. Gambaro to Turn. Very impressive match from the Swede Jonas Turn, including his first goal for the club. Gambaro, likewise him. Here's Turn. Again, they're struggling at the back, Parma. Another corner, it'll eat another few seconds away.
It was a wonderful cross, Peter, there. It had a lot of pace on it into a lovely area of the goal mouth, and Fonseca had elected to stay wide.
Turn with the corner. Zola. Now Brolin. And he was surely tripped. It really hasn't been Parma's day. That's Buzo just hacking away at the ankles of Brolin.
I think he's turned into a defender now, he's Buzo, after playing back there all afternoon.
Yeah. Brolin. Chipped in towards Zola. Definitely controlled. And the header was a free one in the end from Minotti. Couldn't beat the keeper, though.
No, he's disgusted with himself. It's a lovely little ball in, and Minotti does ever so well to get himself across the front of Beer here. But it just wasn't accurate enough, straight down the goalkeeper's throat. But he did well to get in that position.
Still time being added on by the referee for injuries. Benarivo. Zola. This is Pecchio, though, for Napoli. And the final whistle signals Parma's first home defeat of the season. And an outstanding result for Napoli. They've won by 3-1. Gambaro with the first goal, then Brolin equalising from the penalty spot before half-time. 2 sendings off then. Cripper and Carini after an unsavoury tangle over on the sidelines. But then